welcome to another episode by Travel Family Academy. My name is Marae, and today we're going to be talking about 3 items that I always make sure I have with me for flying. So after tons of flights, we've taken well over 100 flights with our now toddler. She's about to turn 3, and if I could go back in time and tell myself about 3 things that I think no parent should ever fly without, these will be the item. If you like our content, hit the subscribe button. We will be sharing weekly tips and also daily shorts where we tell you all kinds of tips and tricks on how to make travel with little kids easier so you can continue doing your passion of seeing the world while also taking your little ones with you. Number 1, a fanny bag. I know, it's crazy. I know, you probably were thinking, I don't know, a diaper bag or a stroller, but no, a fanny bag. So when you're at the airport and you need to pull out your passport, your birth certificate for your baby, or anything else, your wallet, a card, etc., it's so annoying to have to go and look through your backpack or your diaper bag or even your purse. If you're carrying your baby, wearing your baby, pushing a stroller, and let's say you get to TSA and all of a sudden they want to see your ID or your passport or your boarding, and even though lately they never ask for any IDs, like they decide they need to check your paperwork, there's nothing more frustrating than having to set everything down and start picking up your pieces. So I have this little lemon fanny pack. It could be any brand, it could be from anywhere. There's some cheap ones like $9.99 on Amazon. Get this fanny pack. I wear it across my chest so I don't have to ever take it out if I have to use the restroom. The only downside is that if you're wearing your baby, obviously it's better to put it at the bottom rather than the chest. But I wear it on the chest, across my chest, all the way through the airport until the plane. I actually keep it on all the way until I arrive because that's how I know my passports are safe and with me. But at least for the first chunk until after security, I highly suggest you have a fanny pack across your chest for easy access for your boarding passes, your cell phone, your chapstick, anything else. Game changer. I wish I had known about this a long time ago, and I understand why our parents were so into fanny packs back then when. Number 2 is going to be a nice stroller. Now, a lot of people think that for traveling with a baby, you need a specific type of stroller. So I'm going to break this down to you. This really depends on your family's needs and what you're comfortable with. I have traveled with light strollers that you can fold into a little piece and put it on the overhead compartment, and I've traveled with ginormous strollers that become 2-parters and that you have to disassemble when you go in the plane. None of it matters if it fulfills your family's needs. I have taken the big strollers on trips where there's a lot of sand, where we're gonna be doing a lot of strolling, but not necessarily a lot of sightseeing, so there's not a lot of like packing and unpacking, but the stroller functions really well for, let's say, carrying bulky items. I've also taken really light strollers for places like, let's say, Southeast Asia, where you're not gonna be able to use a stroller on the streets, but in case you need it sometimes, you don't want something super huge because apartments tend to be smaller, places tend to be smaller, etc., etc. And I've taken some mid-range travel strollers to Europe, for example, where you want something to be light and compact because there's not a lot of rooms in hotel rooms and apartments, but you don't want those flimsy travel strollers that wheels are going to be coming off after an hour of sightseeing. The biggest tip I'll give you with a stroller is think about your family's needs, and by this I mean, what are you using your stroller mostly for? So if you're using your stroller mostly for naps, you want a good recline and you want a very good sunshade, right? If you're using your strollers for carrying things for you, you want your stroller to be hefty and actually can carry the weight, right? If you want your stroller for like off-roading, maybe you're going somewhere where you get to go on hikes and stuff like that, then obviously you want a sturdy stroller that can take that kind of terrain. So don't fall under the trap of this is the only travel stroller you need and everybody needs this one. The stroller will be good if it fits your family's needs, and that's what you should worry about the most. There are some travel strollers out there that, for example, will not fit in the overhead compartment, but when you fold them and you leave them by the gate, they're so sturdy that no matter what happens, they're gonna make it on the other side, you know? So obviously some really fancy compact travel strollers would not make it if thrown even just once. So these are the things you want to think about when you're traveling. And if you like this topic, let me know in the comments below, and I will make a whole dedicated video to explaining the different travel strollers we've used and which ones we like the best and why. Third item that I think every parent should travel with is a baby carrier. Oh my gosh, if you are not carrying your baby yet, please give it a shot. When my baby was born, I had one of those wrap around, soft carriers, and it was great for the first week or 2, but to be honest with you, I think I got almost stripped by it once trying to assemble it. So I have transitioned from that, and I've tried at least 4 different carriers. My carrier of choice right now is the Onia Baby, but any carrier works as long as you're comfortable with it. Obviously for carriers, you want to make sure they're ergonomic both for you and for your baby. You want to make sure their knees are always standing facing up and not hanging loose, because that can make it where they have bad circulation on their legs or the blood stops running to their legs because of the way they're being positioned. I'm not a carrier expert, but just make sure you look for an ergonomic carrier. But basically, the thing with the carrier is, as long as the carrier works for you and you use it every day, and I highly suggest you do, nothing makes boarding easier than having a carrier. My child is about to turn 3. She's very active, walks, runs, and the whole shebang. But sometimes She doesn't want to walk into the plane alone. Sometimes she falls asleep when we land or right before we land, and there's nothing more convenient than having a nice carrier that you can just strap on, have your baby hop on there, and just walk out of the plane. Especially when you're traveling solo and you have more than one thing to carry. Just trust me, you don't want to be carrying a bunch of stuff and then holding your baby, or boarding the plane while yelling at your kid to make sure they're going through the right door. A baby carrier. It's usually something pretty small and compact. You can store it in your food bag or your diaper bag or your carry-on and just have it handy. I don't go anywhere without it. We've never taken a trip without it. We are about to turn 3 and still taking all the trips with it. So highly recommended. There you have it. Those are the 3 items that I absolutely recommend everybody travel with if you have a kid. Obviously, once again, it depends on your family's needs. Don't let anybody convince you that you need something if your family will not use it. However, these are the 3 things that I personally swear by, and I think every single parent should give it a shot because they make traveling that much easier. If you found this useful, please hit the like button, and don't be shy to let us know in the comments if there's any other topic you would like us to discuss, be it product reviews or favorite products or any other tips on any other aspect of traveling with children. I hope this was fun, and I'll see you next week.